Okay, so this is reaching a position where I'm happy with the draping. So I'm just going to press escape. And the next step is really important. I can't stress that enough. All of the hard work that you've taken to drape it will be undone if you don't do this, and that's to click convert. And what this does is to take the current state of the hair and freeze that or fix it. And you can see the hairs appearing along the guide hairs now. So that's a really important step. Don't forget, once you've draped, just click convert to fix the style. There's one quite important thing to do after you've done the drape. You'll see that the hair is actually now quite close to the scalp. It doesn't really have much in the way of volume, and you might just get one or two places where the hair is disappearing into the mesh. So if I go to the push tool here, now occasionally you'll get where you click on the tool and it won't provide the right options. If you just go back to the assemble room and then back to the model room, we've now got the right options for push. And I'm going to type in a figure of 0.03, which seems to work best. You can experiment with different options, but I have found that that's kind of works best, except for maybe the backcombed style, which suits quite a little bit higher figure, maybe 0.5, 0.6, and just click apply, and that just pushes the hair away from the head, so you've got a little bit more volume around the scalp, and it also helps with any areas where the hair is cutting through the mesh. Now you've got a couple of options now that are very much optional. I'd always recommend using the push to sort any problems out. In the general tab, you can go down to the interpolation and maybe just check on that. If you take the angle off, you'll get a smoother, less sort of division of the hair into individual strands. But you might get hair where you don't want it, but I think in this particular case that looks quite good, so I'm going to stick with that. And the other thing that you can do is to go to the cut tool. You might like a more ragged edge around the sides of this. You can use Control to just adjust the size of the cut tool, but a little bit too ragged for me, so I'm just going to gently kind of trim some of those to make it a little bit more even. You can see that the visible hairs disappear when you actually press the cut tool. There you can see that because of that angle, you've got some of the hair disappearing into that shoulder there, as I said, and there it's out. So you can play with those different options. There you can see you've just got a little bit of hair caught on the arm, which is quite nice. So again, I'm just trimming off some of the hairs to make a more even edge. So those steps are optional, but that's the draped hair, and you can now go into adding the shaders that you want. You've got a selection of 20 different shaders that you can add to this particular hair, and you can just drag and drop the colour shaders onto there. And as I've had with some of my other hairs, you've got optional shaders for frizz, kink and wave. Now to apply those, you need to go into the texture room. I'm just going to take this option right down because that will speed up the refresh. So if, for example, I want to add the wave, then just drop that onto the wave option there. And maybe some frizz or kink. I'll add the kink this time. And then we can just drop that back, and we can see that we've got a wavier and kinkier hair. And then of course we can go off and render that and see what that looks like. Okay, and there we've got our finished render. There's only two direct light, and as you can see they've got hard shadows on there, but still not a bad looking effort for quite a quick render. Hopefully that's given you an idea of how to use LongDrape Hair. The key steps: load the face shield and the hair of your choice, drape it, don't forget to click convert to freeze the style. After you've draped, use the push tool, and there's a couple of options in there, but once you've draped, converted and pushed, then you're free to add the shader of your choice and go ahead and render. And I hope you really enjoy using LongDrape Hair.